Sorry about that. I got distracted. So, I left off about, I was talking about how God has a plan and how I know that He does everything according to His timing, just like me, my husband, Adrian. By the way, that's his name, Adrian. How it took 6 years for us to date and to know it was time. And he proposed to me 6 years after we were together. So then we got married, and I started going to the gynecologist that I had been going to after I got married, just to do checkup. I think it was just like not a random checkup, but like an annual checkup she scheduled me for. So I went in and I just kind of like started talking to her about how I'd been married and how we had been not trying, but just, seeing what was going to happen, because we hadn't, talked about using prevention, birth control. I've never been on birth control before. And of course, I've never been pregnant before. He's never gotten anybody pregnant before. So we just kind of like, weren't planning to have kids yet, and right away we just want to enjoy our marriage, we want to enjoy each other. So then I just talked to her about it, and I think after a few months, when we did start planning, because you have people that ask you like, when are you guys getting pregnant, when you guys want to have a baby, don't you guys want to have kids, are you pregnant, do you plan on it, all those things that people ask you. And also people close to us were getting pregnant. His sister had got married 2 months before we did, and they got pregnant, I think within that year of being married, because they got married 2013, the same year we did. So to hear that was kind of like, okay, they're having a baby, they're having a family, shouldn't you guys be having a family too? So we had all that going on, and so then it raised questions. For me, we were ignorant, totally ignorant of everything. Like, not even everything, but I don't know. Like, I didn't know my body. I didn't know anything about my cycles. I didn't know anything about ovulation. And it's crazy because me and my husband were both active prior to being married. We were in past relationships, so it's crazy how a lot of people don't even know about those kind of things until infertility comes, or having issues and trying to conceive and different things like that, or even planned pregnancies. People planning to have a family, planning to have children, which is not so much uncommon these days, but it's not as talked about. So infertility is kind of like a touchy subject, and it's like what do they call it, taboo. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but that's why I'm making this video, because I've seen other girls' videos. I'm very encouraged by a lot of women sharing their story. A lot of women, I know that have been through struggles, and have had ups and downs, and I hope that this video can encourage somebody, as well as I love to look back to see my journey, my husband's journey, because I trust in the Lord and I know we are going to conceive. So getting back to okay, us trying to conceive, I took some notes, so you guys bear with me. We tried to get pregnant, we never got pregnant. Okay, so I went to the gynecologist, and she told me usually couples wait 2 years before even asking questions about infertility, and those kind of things. So I was like, okay, and that's it. We tried. I mean, we lived life. We were married, newly married couple, and we were just getting to know each other more. We thought we knew each other after 6 years, but we didn't. You don't know anybody until you marry them. I'm still learning who my husband is, and I. So, I mean, he's trying to learn me, but it's a beautiful process. But in that process, we never thought we would be here. I never thought. Well, I did. And I'll actually explain that in another video in the future, because the Lord actually spoke to me. And I'd like to share that with you guys too, because He's everything to me. And yeah, so I'll share that in another video. But anyways, okay, so everybody was rooting us on, wanting to have a baby. Month after month, no baby, no baby. Period would come, and there was times when we were crushed. Like, I would cry. Adrian would be there. He would cry, and I don't know. We just had each other to lean on, and it was a good thing, because I love my husband, and I know my husband loves me, and couldn't have got through it without him, and I know he couldn't have got through it without me, and the Lord, because He's been with us every step of the way, brought clarity and understanding, and it's just been a journey, a good journey. So okay, so let's say, needless to say, like I said, we didn't conceive. So the doctor said come back 2 years from then. Okay, 2 years flew by like crazy, crazy fast. So I went back to her and I said, okay, well, we've been trying to conceive. Now what do we do? Like, I've never been pregnant, but I always have my periods, and I've been looking at videos. I know people say that they can't get pregnant if they skip their periods. My sisters have skipped periods, went through all kinds of things, PCOS, all those kinds of things my sisters have been through. 2 of them have had children. My other sister has conceived, and so I had all these assumptions, and I didn't really know. I was looking for answers, so of course I was going to ask my gynecologist. So she told me that, first of all, I need to rule my husband out, because it's not always the woman. And she was very stern when she said it. She said, you know what, it's not always a woman, so you want to rule your husband out first. Have him go and get his semen analysis, and if get him out the way, and then we'll move on to you. Well, it sounds like, okay, that's the next step. It's quick, just go get that done. But it wasn't quick. My husband didn't want to get a semen analysis, and for whatever reason he just didn't. And he's like, no, that's it. And I was like crushed, like, what? Like, okay, we have to move on, the next step. We want children, and at that time, he had seen it like, well, we don't want to trust in doctors, and being that we're Christian, and that's not true. We don't trust in doctors, but God gave us doctors on this earth for a reason. So anyways, he's past that. Well, I want to let you know that a close couple in our life called for him to get a semen analysis, and I had been praying about it, and I said, just God, it's in your hands. So a close couple in our lives, he had to get a semen analysis. So he was like, yeah, I was telling my husband it was painless, it was easy, in and out. So my husband was like, okay, well, I think we can too. And it was just like, wow, like, God, you answer my prayers. Like, something so little, well, it seems little to other people, but it was big to me. So something so big or little, however you take it, God answered my prayer, and I was excited, and that's a blessing I'll always remember. That's one prayer that got answered out of the many. So let's see. He got a semen analysis, and we had to go through a urologist at St. Vincent's. He ordered him a semen analysis, and it came back negative. And it was because we thought it was because, like, we tampered with it, or he did it at home. They had a choice. They gave him 2 choices: to do it at home and bring it in, or to do it there and turn it in there. And we chose the first one the first time, and we were out of town on a conference for the church in California on our way back, actually, and they called and said, hey, we got a negative, it didn't liquefy like it was supposed to. So it was either 1 or 2 reasons, because that it was a bad batch. I don't want to say batch, but it was bad reading, or it was just a low sperm count. So we're gonna order another one. So they ordered another one, but I think, oh, okay. So we came back from California. We set up a date, but we had to postpone it because my husband's sister was in town. His sister, his nephew, and his brother. And we had to postpone it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like something's always gonna come up. At this point I was upset because like something always came up. Whether it was we were trying to conceive after we learned of my ovulation, my fertile window, or, well, obviously that's the only time we can get pregnant. So something always came up at that time, like every month. Like he was away, you know, working for the church, you know, at a job, or, you know, we were gone on a missionary team, because that's what we do, you know, we're missionaries in our church, and we go different places, and we have different events, and we're involved in just a lot. So anyways, we postponed it, and then he ended up getting it again, and the results came back, and it was low. And at that, I think the second results that came back, it was low. And in between, I think when we read it was low the second time, our urologist sent us to an infertility doctor. His urologist sent us to an infertility doctor that was new to town. His name was Dr. Sinwani, and he was known for infertility. So we set up an appointment with him, and we met with him, and we told him our journey after telling all kinds of people, from the gynecologist, also finding a family doctor that my husband hadn't been regular on keeping up with, because something always coming up. The urologist that we had went to prior to our infertility doctor, our urologist now, and yeah,